Welcome to Read This Book. I'm Lisa Vondrasek, curator of the Children's Literature Research Collections of the University of Minnesota Libraries. And today I have...
I'm Tim Johnson. I am curator of special collections and rare books, and the E.W. McDermott curator of the Sherlock Holmes collections at the University of Minnesota Libraries.
Well, first things first. I think you're going to be talking a little bit about your collection.
I am, but today I did bring something from the collection, actually two things. They're both annotated.
For people who might be not familiar with that phrase,
Yeah.
What does that mean that something's annotated?
It means basically when you're reading a book, you scribble notes in the margin.
Mm-hmm.
You have
You
might make notes in a notebook.
Right, okay.
You might have questions about words that are
That
not
you might wanna
familiar
look
to you.
up.
So an annotated volume explains and goes into greater depth about things that you're reading in the main story. So sometimes it's kind of like footnotes or endnotes.
Okay,
but it's,
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Because you did a really bad way explaining
Hey,
that.
I'm sorry.
So, an annotated edition,
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You have the main text.
Yes.
And then you have someone who's so well read in the subject matter, they're letting you know stuff you didn't know about that text. Whether
True.
it's that food is always eaten on New Year's Eve, or that actually is a reference to a politician of that time.
Yeah. And so an annotator indeed may be an expert who's offering additional commentary. It may be somebody who just likes to take lots of notes.
Okay.
So Les Klinger, who I have represented here, has done a number of annotated volumes. He's an attorney. He likes taking lots of notes about things, and for him it's the process, it's the research, it's the fun of expanding and learning himself and sharing that with the readers.
But as a reader, it's like having a conversation not only with the author,
Right.
but it's like having a conversation with Les Klinger.
And having a conversation about the
Can you
context.
pick up that book and say a
Yeah.
few words about it?
So this one is also special because I just wrote a little piece along with Julie McCurris and Gary Thaden and Dick Sveum, who are part of our Friends of the Sherlock Holmes collections. We did a Baker Street Christmas annual volume about William S. Baring Gould, who annotated the Sherlock Holmes stories. And for me, part of the fun of working on that project is Baring Gould was a student of the University of Minnesota in the 30s, went on to work for Time, Inc. This got a lot of people interested in Sherlock Holmes. So it's two volumes. You indeed have the text, and then you have Baring Gould's annotations along the side, and you have illustrations
I'm going to
from
hold
the
this
text.
up.
Okay?
I'm going to hold this up.
Yep.
So that is a usual way, an annotated edition.
Right.
So as you turn the pages, you have a reflection from another human being giving you more information. There's a big fat book in front of you.
Yeah, this is another one I would spend some cold winter days and nights with. This is the annotated Sandman. Neil Gaiman being the author. And this one is really cool. I'm going to hold it. You can turn pages if you want.
Okay.
So Sandman is one of the many projects that Neil has been involved with over the years, telling the story of Dream and the other Endless who live in a realm. He is in the Dreaming, and Les Klinger has done the annotations for this.
So I see here, he notes that the Tale of the Hunchback is included in the 1001 Nights. So you also have it in the Sandman, and there's that reference. So if you didn't know that, you would have an aha moment.
Yep. Yeah. I think there are lots of aha moments when you're just leisurely going through an annotated.
So the Sandman brings us to this other world, but there are references to our own.
To our own, indeed. Yeah.
And so this is a real coffee table book. I really see myself sprawled out in front of the fire.
Yep. Cup of tea or coffee at the ready. Maybe a little music playing in the background.
And I'll add my own. Phantom Toll Booth,
Uh-huh.
annotated by Leonard S. Marcus. So we'll be reading our annotated editions. Next Blizzard, I will think of you.
Thank you. I'll think of you too.
And that's it for this edition of Read This Book, the annotated edition.